All right, so global business and marketing plan. Let me just explain what it is in reality, and then I'll talk about how it fits our group project for 460 and what you have to do and what you don't have to do. The reason why it's a big document is you've got things in it like, first of all, you have to figure out who's your target market segment. Now, in real life, if I was doing a global business marketing plan for a company, I might take 8, 9, 10, 12 pages just to discuss that. I would have charts and diagrams. I would have a pie circle showing about the number of people that speak Spanish, number of people that speak French in my target market area. I might have some maps saying where are those people living. I might have a statistics chart talking about what is the average age and then what is the average household income. I could have easily, 10, 15 pages talking about my target market, the people who I want to sell to, right? Then I talk about the marketing mix, and I could easily have 3 or 4 pages talking about my product. I would have some pictures of the product. I would have some diagrams. I would show how it works and functions. Then price. I could have 2 or 3 pages talking about how I calculate the price, what my competition's price is, how I can lower my price. Then promotion. I might have 5 or 10 pages talking about how we're going to develop some viral videos and how we're going to get them on YouTube. And then I might talk about place and discuss where we're going to sell it and have a map of the best stores, okay? So those things become our marketing strategy. Then I would add in when I'm going to do all these things, and that becomes my marketing plan, which ends up as about 100 to 120 pages, and that would take me 6 months, 7 months, maybe even 8 months to do. Well, we can't do it in a class like MRK460. But I can tell you what to do. What we can do is parts of it, right? And then what I want you to do is a document that starts off with a table of contents, telling me how you divided up some of these things, right? But you don't do all this big list of topics like I just showed you what to do. Basically, what I want you to do is this, and follow me along, okay? I want you to take your company or take your situation that you're going to write about it and talk about it in the context of what I've been actually teaching you. So basically what you're going to do for your final group project is talk about your topic, whether it be Lululemon or the effect on Starbucks or microplastic, whatever it is, in the context of what I've taught you. So that means you list somebody, talking about the cultural environment, how the social cultural situation is affecting your business. You may talk about more people staying at home, therefore they're into individual things like yoga, which is why they want to get Lululemon products sent to the door through Amazon, right? Then you'll talk about what type of, are you going to do market development or versus market penetration? And then you'll talk about some diasporas. Are there different cultural groups that favor the establishment of your product if it's something like bubble iced tea? And then you'll talk about, just a second here, whether it's a market penetration thing or a market development thing. And then you'll also talk about globalization and how globalization is affecting your situation. For example, Air Canada is an airline. If globalization is cut back because of the airline industry, then that's something you will talk about, and you'll say, part of the thing that affects our product is globalization of customers or globalization of production, all right? Then you'll talk about ethics. Almost every topic will have an ethical component. There's an ethics story about Starbucks. There's an ethics story about Lululemon and their model situations, right? Then you'll discuss things like corporate social responsibility. Did the company or situation do anything that caused them to defend against an accusation as being obstructious, or were they accommodative about things? Then you also talk about, that's a second here, are there any stakeholders or other things like that that are involved in supporting the company? And then viral marketing. You might include a link to a couple of YouTube videos about your company's product and show that. And then you may recommend or make a comment on any guerrilla marketing techniques they use. For example, you could look at a video that Air Canada has and make a comment saying in 2 or 3 sentences, I agree, this is a good example, or I disagree, or so on. Then, it's going up here, where we talk about whether the company right now has a product orientation or sales orientation or marketing orientation. And then you'll talk about government. Is the Canadian government involved in helping Air Canada or Lululemon or things like Amazon or the Coca-Cola distribution? You may also talk about some things to do with dumping. And then you've got also the situation of tariffs and subsidies. Does Coca-Cola get any kind of subsidies or tariffs, or how does it affect that business? Then you've also got country selection and evaluation. So is Coca-Cola expanding, deciding they're going to Vietnam instead of Indonesia, or they're going to go into Malaysia instead of Thailand because of local competition? And then you've also got some discussions about the OECD. Almost every group could go to the OECD and pick some charts talking about things to do with the population of people that might be the customers of this product. Then you might have some foreign exchange comments about some of these countries that you're trying to do business in. And then you get into some things related to political risk and contingency planning. And then you would talk about why you should do this export. And I will discuss whether you used first mover advantages or second mover. I'll talk about that today. Then this is a big section. Okay, you will talk about whether the company had any joint ventures or strategic alliances. So I'll show you right now an example of that. So for the groups that's doing Air Canada, just pay attention to me for a second here. Up on the screen, Air Canada, joint ventures. And then I click here where it says news. So there's an example right there. So that's how you find out whether the company has got some joint ventures or alliances or subsidiaries or direct exporting or contract manufacturing, all those kinds of things. Then look at the topic, which I haven't discussed, but I'll talk about next week. You'll talk about some HR staffing situations. You may say, well, one of the advantages of Air Canada is they're very good at hiring people from different cultures to help with attracting business from those cultures. Then you may talk about outsourcing or offshoring. You may say that Amazon has the big, huge offices in these locations. And you could go to the Amazon website and find a map of all the locations around the world and find out where they do their offshoring or outsourcing. Or same thing with Coca-Cola, same thing with Lululemon, and same thing with Starbucks, right? And then you could talk about total quality management. How do they do that at Starbucks? And some just-in-time things, how that might affect Air Canada. And one or two topics in here, and that's about it. So that's how you put your project together, is you keep in mind that this is the strict list of how to do an international business and marketing plan, right? But in reality, I'm not going to have you go down that step by step by step, because frankly, it'd be too difficult and it would take too long and you wouldn't get it done. Rather, instead, what I want you to do is simply look at some of the topics in the course. Doesn't have to be all of them, but just the ones that fit you, and write about these topics in the context of the company that you picked. All right, you write about them in the context of the company you picked. Now, here we are talking about this in class on March 17th. All right, we still have 3 classes left. So the most obvious thing is that when you come to class on the 24th, you're going to tell me your progress today. And you're going to say, we found this, we found that, we couldn't find this. And I will answer, I will tell you right in class, right? Carrie says, do we have to do these exact topics or just choose the ones we wish to talk about? What I just said, Carrie, we just choose the ones you wish to talk about, okay? Does Elvis have any more questions? Anybody think that I can answer right now? Okay, so I'm going to press stop right now, and I'll save that and then send that out to you later so the other sections can read that as well. So